And that was the first indication that Cargill had gone over, huh?
Yes, sir. That's the first indication we had.
Now, after that one time, did he continue these activities?
Yes, sir. Right up to the time we left GG to be exchanged.
I see. Well, Miller, what else did he do that you'd consider collaboration?
Well, sir, we heard he made radio broadcasts for them saying the United States had used germ warfare. Of course, we only heard about that. I know he signed one of those germ warfare confessions because I saw one of them.
Like this?
Yes, sir, that's it.
Did he also make newsreels for the enemy?
Newsreel?
Yeah.
No, sir. No, he couldn't have.
Miller, can you think of any reason why he went over?
Well, sir, I've been thinking, is it possible maybe he was a plant? You know, he was one of them all the time.
Well, you testified yesterday that nobody ever suspected him. Now, do you want to change your testimony?
No, sir. Now that I think about it, I don't guess he could have been, could he? Well, I mean, I no more expected Harry to go over than I would my own brother.
Were you and Cargill close friends?
Cargill and me? No, sir.
Well, the way you talked, I thought you might be close buddies.
No, sir, we weren't any more friends than anybody else.
Do you have any special friend in the compound?
No, sir. Why?
Well, in the 48 hours before Cargill broke, 2 men died. Captain Connors and Lieutenant...
Harvey, sir?
Yeah, that's right, Lieutenant Harvey. Incidentally, how did Harvey die?
Oh, I thought you knew that, sir.
No.
Lieutenant Harvey died following an acute case of dysentery.
And Captain Connors?
Same things.
That dysentery must have been pretty rough, huh?
Yes, sir. It was a real killer. In fact, sir, 8 of the 9 men that died in our shack died of dysentery. You see, sir, in cases of bacillary dysentery, the incidence of death is pretty high, especially when there's no medicine. See, what happens is dehydration sets in, and the sick man suffers from a general wasting away, and he just dies.
Well, I guess all of you got to be amateur medics, didn't you?
Yes, sir, we had to be. That's a pretty shocking thing to see your friends die that way.
Well, that's exactly what I meant, Lieutenant. Seeing something like this could shock a man enough to crack him, especially if the victim were a close friend of his.
Well, I see what you mean, sir, but I just told you Cargill didn't have any close friends.
Why not?
Well, sir...
Was he cold, unfriendly?
No, sir, he was friendly enough. We used to kid him all the time. We called him Professor. Not that he really was a professor, but he taught in some college.
He was an instructor.
Instructor, that's right. And when we called him Professor, we weren't riding him or anything like that, because you see, all the men liked him and respected him right from the time he got to GG. In fact, sir, that's one of the most vivid memories I have of the entire war.
What was that?
It's the first time that Cargill got to our shack. You see, one of the men had died during the night, and we got permission to bury him, and we stood around in the rain, and somebody read from a Bible. And when we got ready to cover up the body, Cargill steps to the edge of the grave, and he says, "My brother dies that I may live. May I be worthy of his sacrifice." From that time on, whenever he talked, we listened. You see, we trusted him. We respected him, you know.
My brother dies that I may live. That doesn't sound like their philosophy to me, Lieutenant.
Well, that's 9 months before he went over. He had a lot of time to think. Sir, don't you know those guys like him, these guys that think too much? You know, they can kind of get taken in by that kind of stuff.
Then you think Cargill was taken in?
Sir?
Well, some of these men went over for personal gain or physical comfort, but you don't think it was that way in his case?
Well, no, sir, there's no indication of that.
Then you think he really embraced their philosophy?
Sir, I don't know. There's only one person can tell you that.
As you were. Bill, Sergeant Fleischacker told me there was a boy here from Camp GG.
Oh, yes, sir. Lieutenant Miller, this is General Connors.
Lieutenant, you must have known my son, Captain Connors. Joe Connors.
Oh, yes, sir.
I know I'm interrupting, but I had to find out.
Oh, that's quite all right, sir.
Give me a minute, will you, Bill?
Yes, sure.
Well, Mint?
Thanks, sir.
Did you know my son before Gigi?
Oh, yes, sir. We were in the same outfit, you know.
A fine outfit, Lieutenant. You men made quite a record for yourselves.
Thank you, sir. It wouldn't have been the same without Joe. Well, in fact, sir, when Joe died, every man at the camp felt as though he lost a brother.
You must have known him well.
Well, sir, when you live together in a small shack that long, yes, sir, I knew him very well, sir.
Lieutenant, how about joining me for a drink at the club?
Oh, sir.
I want to talk to you about Joe. Bill,
Yes, sir.
I asked for a minute, now I need an hour. Is that all right with you?
Well, yes, of course, sir. We'll go on with this in the morning, boy.
Come on, son.
How did Flyshacker know that Miller was in here?
Oh, you know Flyshacker, sir. He's a one-man radar system.
Yeah.
Sir, these are finished.
Oh, thanks. Okay, Baker, what's up?
Why, nothing, sir. Nothing at all.
Now, don't kid me. With you, it's never nothing.
That's a very unfriendly remark, sir. It indicates a complete lack of trust and confidence.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry I hurt your feelings, Baker. Now, what do you want?
May I take that as permission to discuss this matter further?
All I have to do is breathe, and you take it as permission.
All I'm trying to do is be cooperative, sir. I'm just trying to suggest, sir, that this case is so open and shut we don't even need a court-martial.
Oh, I see.
Look, sir, all we have to do is take a card, punch holes in it, one for each wrong thing this Major Cargill did, send it through an IBM machine, and come up with the right answer. That's the kind of case this is.
So?
So the sooner it's over, the better.
Why?
Sir?
Why? You've got to have a reason.
Well, if the Colonel will forgive me for saying so, you're wrong. Look, sir, I'm no intellectual. I don't need a reason. But as long as the Colonel's opened up the subject for further discussion, I would like to say that I don't like the whole idea of the Colonel handling this case. This is a hot potato, sir.
Baker, is there anything else on your mind?
Yes, sir, as long as
Just
you're
answer
asking
yes or no. Anything else on your mind?
Yes, sir.
Then shut up.
Yes, sir.
Well, wait. Wait a minute. If you really want to do something for me, go out to the machine, get us some coffee. Coffee,
Yes,
Never
sir.
mind, it's on me.
Yeah, the Colonel's throwing a farewell party.
What's the matter with him today?
Maybe it isn't Baker.
What?
Well, sir, perhaps you're a bit touchy today? Well, it is possible.
Oh, is it?
Well, sir, if you'd really like my opinion, yes.
Evans, I'm tired of being analyzed today. I'm tired of being told how to do my job. And if I'm touchy, and why.
Sir, what are extenuating circumstances? Oh, I don't mean that. I mean, couldn't something be extenuating circumstances to one person and not to another, sir?
That's always a matter of opinion, Baker.
Well, let's say that there's a general who had a son who died in a prison camp, just for the sake of argument. Let's say there's a major who was at the same camp who went over to the enemy to save his own neck and comes out of the whole deal alive.
Baker, there is a prescribed routine in all cases involving possible court-martial, right? And if it takes a certain amount of time, we'll take that time, right?
Right.
But when it's done, it'll have been done with full regard for his rights under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You understand?
That's very good, sir, as far as the book is concerned. Where the general is concerned...
The
there's
general
no...
happens to be a friend of mine.
Oh, but, sir, I happen to be a friend of Sergeant Fleischhacker, who works in the general's office. It is Sergeant Fleischhacker's opinion that
Baker,
anybody...
knock it off, will you?
Okay. No more advice for you, though.
Good.
Sir. Major Cargo is at the reception desk.
Okay. Have him come up.
You can go up now, Major.
This way, Major. Major Cargill, sir.
Come in, Major. Sit down.
Word certainly gets around, doesn't it?
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the seriousness of the charges against you, aren't you, Major? Now, first, let me review your rights under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You don't have to answer
I don't have to answer any incriminating questions. I don't have to make any statements. I have the right to be represented by counsel. Article 31 of the Code. I'm familiar with it. I'm willing to answer all questions, and I don't want to be around when you question witnesses.
Okay. Let's get on with it. Name, rank, serial number.
Harry Cargill, Major Artillery, 09432-305.
You the same Major Harry Cargill who was imprisoned in Camp GG in Korea?
Yes, sir.
You were captured during the breakthrough along the Yalu River in North Korea?
Yes, sir.
You were hospitalized for 2 months and you were transferred to this Camp GG.
That's right.
Well, Major, certain charges have been made against you. I'll recite them, then you'll have the opportunity of making a statement. Now, first, it's alleged that during... First, it's alleged that during November 1951, you made a radio broadcast for the enemy in which you admitted taking part in germ warfare. Well?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Would you repeat that, please?
It's alleged that during November 1951, you made a radio broadcast for the enemy in which you falsely admitted taking part in germ warfare. Is that true?
Yes.
It's further charged that you gave indoctrination lectures favorable to the enemy to your fellow prisoners. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
I have a statement here confessing to germ warfare, which supposedly carries your signature.
It's my signature.
Well, look at it first, Major.
Mm-hmm. No, that's my signature.